Now first, the dirty little secret of combustion engines. They're not real efficient. In fact, your car's engine is a better heater than a motor. Over 60% of the gas you buy goes into creating heat and exhaust. Put another way, next time you do one of those $75 fill-ups, realize that about 56 bucks of it isn't used to move your car, but to heat it. With that depressing thought in mind, let's see what's going to save fuel in cars that already burn it so inefficiently. Number 5, adaptive battery charging. About a 3 to 4% savings here. Your alternator charges your battery. It's driven by a belt that drags on the engine all the time. That hasn't changed in the better part of a century. But today, new systems like BMW's Efficient Dynamics only engage the alternator when you brake or are coasting. That means kinetic energy keeps the thing spinning as opposed to combustion energy. Very smart. Number 4, electric rotating accessories. A 5 to 6% savings here. Talking about your power steering and water pumps, your air conditioning compressor, those are all little parasites driven by belts that sap the engine. Electric power steering is already taking over in cars as we speak. And electric water pumps, you should start seeing those around 2014. Now, electric air conditioning compressors have the added benefit of keeping the car cool even when the engine's off. And that brings us to number 3. Start-stop technology. It can save you 6 to 10%. When you come to a stop, the engine shuts down until you lift off the brake to get moving again. That reduces not just fuel waste, but also emissions in congested traffic. This trick used to be confined only to hybrids, but now it's spreading to gas engine cars. Mercedes, BMW, Mazda, Ford, just some of the car makers using it. In 5 years or so, I'm willing to bet it'll be as common as a parking brake. Number 2, 8 and 9-speed automatic transmissions with a fuel savings of 10, maybe 15%. If you think a 7-speed automatic is overkill, you're a couple of shifts behind. The 8 speeds are here, the 9 speeds are on the way, like ZF's 9HP transmission, first adopted by Chrysler. The idea behind all of these is simple. Internal combustion engines have a fairly narrow sweet spot for efficiency. And the more gears you have to choose from, the more likely you can keep the engine in that spot. Before we get to number 1, here's the real number 1, saving weight. This isn't one technology, though. It's a combination of carbon fiber parts, high-tensile steel frames, aluminum body panels, and suspension parts, lighter seats, and plastic everywhere. When you take weight out of a car, you don't just improve its fuel economy, but also its acceleration, its braking, its cornering, just about everything, except perhaps how it does in a collision with a Ford Expedition. The number 1 fuel-saving tech that's out there right now and has a huge future is direct injection and forced induction, a couplet here, up to 20% fuel savings. Direct injection delivers fuel directly into the cylinder where it's needed, which, believe it or not, cars never actually did until very recently. And forced induction, like supercharging or turbocharging, that does wonders when it's coupled with direct injection. All of this is about getting more power out of a smaller engine using less fuel. Look at the 2013 Audi S5, for example. By dropping last year's normally aspirated 4.2-liter V8 and going to a smaller 3-liter supercharged direct injection V6, the MPG went from an abysmal 1422 to a pretty good 1726. The car lost its gas guzzler tax, uses some $600 less fuel per year, and still gets up to 60 in a quick 4.9 seconds. For more car tech top 5s like these, go to CNETOnCars.com. We do one in every episode of the show. I'm Brian Cooley. Thanks for watching.